on this episode of Weekly Obsession.
I'm not gonna quit.
Nope, we're gonna wait for you. Jump, press the shoulders down. You're gonna see all my crazy heavy lifting faces. You realize how once you get into a routine, how easy it is to maintain a routine, right? Like the first couple days, you guys were like, oh, what is this? Move your water bottle.
Today was a rough day for me.
Everyone says the standing mountain climbers are the hardest part.
Came flying out on mules to frogs. Mule. Oh, you guys keep going. But that's what happens, and I just caught it and tucked it back in and kept on going. Getting through week 1 is amazing, and it's a big accomplishment, but it's just the tip of the iceberg.
My expectations for week 2 are that I hope I can go up a couple weights or maybe a couple bands.
I made the cafe latte Shakeology. It was good. Oh my God, it was so freaking good. Like a dessert. It was amazing.
Week 2, I hope that I'm gonna become a little bit more used to the program, and then as time goes on, I'll reach a point of being like exhilarated and feeling like I have lots of energy and all of those things that I'm not feeling right now.
We are gonna have a fun week 2. You've been crushing it in week 1, but it all changes this week because we go heavier with all of our workouts. Press the shoulders down. If you have a hard time with the band, take it off. And you can still do the contraction without the band. So serious. He's like.
Going into week 2, I was a little bit sore. That's because I work a lot and I don't get to sleep as much as I would love to.
Every time she's got a nice flat line, her abs are in, and she's pulling that band into her rib cage, not up by her face.
The backs of my hamstrings, my calves, my glutes, really everything was sore. I think if I hadn't foam rolled, it would have been a lot more challenging to get through.
Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. So push through it and believe in yourself. How do you guys feel like you did with nutrition and everything week 1?
The weekend was hard for me.
Me too.
It was to stay on track because I didn't have a specific schedule.
It's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen especially in the first few weeks, as like it was our very first weekend, and I'm sure everybody's gonna experience that anyways, where you realize how once you get into a routine, how easy it is to maintain a routine, right? Like the first couple days, you guys were like, oh, what is this? And how do I do it? And then all of a sudden it was like, oh wait, I got this, and wait a minute, like it's really easy because now I just know that these are my times and this is what I'm doing it. And then the weekend comes and you're like, how do I have a life and follow the plan? Social situations are always gonna be a bit more challenging. It was definitely something I had to learn when I was competing, like how to do it, how to still maintain a social life, because this isn't about deprivation and just like shutting down your life for 80 days. You have to learn how to do it. So one, I tell people, don't always eat out of the containers, like fill the containers, but put your food on a plate so that you're starting to get the visual of what it looks like and how much it is on that plate. If you know you're going to a certain restaurant in advance, look at the menu, know what containers you have left, make a decision about your food before you ever get there. But now that we're getting into week 2, you're sort of finding the groove with it, right? You'll be like more prepared for next weekend, and before you know it, the weekends will become really easy. And I know I saw a bunch of people being like, Saturday night fun, meal prep, and their hot tea, or they're like LaCroix in a wine glass. And that just is what it is.
Do that.
Yeah.
LaCroix in the wine glass.
We all did it.
Yesterday felt like such a Monday though, and I felt like I had no energy, but this morning I feel really good after yesterday's workout.
Yeah, me too.
Let's work our butts. How low can you go? Keeping the foot flexed. This is like my favorite one right here, because it targets that little spot where all the shape comes from, where you get a nice round butt. A lot of times girls have like this spot right here, so everything else is shaped, but you get that spot that sort of hangs, and you're like, oh, if I could just lift this, I'd have a nice full looking butt, and that's what that exercise is for. Kaylee, slow them down.
My glute was burned out, and I wanted them to be over.
Speedy Gonzalez over here.
But Autumn called me out, and when I slowed it down, I mean, it definitely was harder.
She's like, Now, by me stacking all 3 exercises like this, you're just gonna feel the burn and down. I can tell you one thing about these bands. Well, first of all, who keeps kicking over their water bottle?
That's me.
Today was a rough day for me.
We've all had those days where like nothing goes right. The band rolls on you 400 times. You kick the water bottle over.
I was kicking over water bottles.
Move your water bottle. Move it up by your head.
Chair felt like it was like 500 pounds. It was moving it here and there.
Band goes around the ankles. Carrie's gonna pull her chair out, press it, and tap it. We have 10 on each side. Is everybody ready? Now, if you're modifying and you need to hold on to something, you can use the chair. We'll give you a second.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Carrie's gonna pull out her chair. That's okay. You don't have to move it so far away from you.
That's true.
You can keep, yeah, you know, you can keep it closer.
I just like could not get it together.
You should give me every last little bit you have left in the tank. Leave it all right here on the floor.
I'm doing these exercises and my band is like knotting up and I'm trying to undo it and like not make a scene about it and it's not working.
Stay with me. 10 to the left and you're done. You need a heavier band, that's the problem.
I'm not gonna quit.
No, and we're gonna wait for you.
I know, but I can't get it untied.
I felt terrible because she had to stop the workout because I was such a mess, but she gave me a really good tip, which was change your band.
Put your blue band on.
Okay.
We're gonna do it, this is again. Your band's rolling because it's not strong enough. Her legs are strong.
Put on the blue band, it's rolling up because it's not giving you enough resistance. So I did that and voila, it worked.
Does that feel better?
Yes, it does.
Exactly. Guys, if you find that your band keeps rolling no matter what you're doing, you probably need to use the heavier band.
I noticed today was kind of challenging for Carrie, but you know what? Every day's challenging for me, so I can relate with her 500%.
It's another one in the books.
I'm so sorry.
Nothing to apologize for. It just happens. And it's good to know, because now we know you got to use the blue band.
Yeah.
You're stronger than you might think you are.
So how are you guys feeling about today, cardio?
Happy.
Really?
I'm excited. It's like
I've
you
had
pump everything
more
out.
energy than I've ever had in my life. I feel like I'm 18 again.
Oh,
Well, you're not.
That's good.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, sweetie.
So, Jasmine, get ready.
For what?
Sweat fest.
coming for you.
Coming for
I'm
you,
not
yes.
going next year.
From week 1 to week 2, I think that the athlete mentality in me has become a little bit more awakened. So I'm happy about that. And the more I keep going in this route, it'll be a great progression to see what ends up happening at the end of the 80 days.
Jump. Keep that core held in tight. Let's go. 3, 2, X jumps. Here we go.
The ones I have to modify usually are when we get into the X jumps, just because they're right after the mountain climbers, and my heart rate is like up here, and so I just know my body, and like I know I need to like let it chill for a second before I can get in it.
Everyone says the standing mountain climbers are the hardest part, so I really use the cross jacks in that moment to catch my breath and breathe. But it is nice knowing that you're not the only one. Like everyone in the group is also struggling with that particular move.
Forget all the reasons it won't work and think about why it will. Think about the progress that you're gonna make.
I don't know if I'd ever use the word easy to describe cardio. I felt stronger this week, I'll say that. But I also came into it with a better attitude. Like I just feel that I'm making progress, so I wasn't as nervous going into it this week.
So yesterday I went to lunch with my boyfriend. It's the first time in these 2 weeks that I've gone out to eat, not made my own food. So I was a little nervous about what was gonna happen.
Did you bring your containers?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my God.
My boyfriend put them in his
Ew.
backpack.
Wait, so you brought your portion containers and you...
No,
I have a question, I need clarification.
What?
Did you portion out food that they prepared?
Yes.
Oh.
It was my post-workout meal, so I brought my green container, my red container, and my yellow. I'm still a little unsure of how much I should be having of something. Like when I ordered the side of rice and beans, I was like, oh, this looks like a portion, but I ate maybe like 3/4 of it. So it definitely would have been too much if I just ate it. So I'm glad I brought my containers with me.
Yeah, you did it. You're an inspiration.
We took the kids bowling last night, and we took them kind of late, so I knew I had to have my last meal before I went. But I didn't want to bring containers to the bowling alley because, first of all, I had to deal with the kids and everything. So I just portioned.
Could you eat at the bowling alley?
Probably nothing. I made sure I saved one of my big meals for right before we went. So at least I was full when I got there because they were having like French fries. My brother was drinking beer.
Oh, beer.
My brother's girlfriend was eating chicken wings. I was like, seriously, you guys, you're killing me. They're just like all around me. French fries are great, and I'll have them again in 80 days. And beer is good, and I'll have it again in 80 days. But if I cheat now, I'm never gonna know like what could I really have accomplished and how would it have felt to like made it all the way.
Small bend in the elbows. Control the weight on the way down. You're gonna see all my crazy heavy lifting faces. Again, this is what happens, you guys. We get tired, right? form goes just a little bit. This is your last one. And rest. Good. So as you get tired, focus on the form that much more. Where are my hips? Where are my abs? Where are my shoulders? If you have to go slower, go slower.
I definitely feel a lot stronger. Last week I had to modify the push-ups where you go down slow for 3 and then pop up on 1. But this week, I didn't have to do that at all for any of the rounds. So I knew that I had the strength this week.
I'm gonna do something I haven't tried ever yet. The blue band actually felt a little bit easy for me. I'm gonna dial it up a notch. Lord, help me, because I don't know what's about to happen. I'm probably gonna regret this in a split second.
I tried doing the double loop as my resistance this week because Autumn made the suggestion. She's put one on, so I was like, oh, I'll do it too.
Oh, there's the resistance I want.
Last week we used 1 resistance band, but this week, since we're doing 3 sets but fewer reps, the goal is to kind of bump up your weight and just push yourself and see if you can get a little bit more out of it.
I did it on purpose. My press was too easy. I felt the contraction, but I feel this a lot more. And I'm looking for some gains, so I gotta challenge myself.
In actuality, when I started doing the exercise, it felt like it took the pressure off of places like my hip flexors, and I could concentrate more on the eccentric exercise. I had more resistance to push against as opposed to trying to hold my leg up in the air.
If you are gonna challenge yourselves and put on more bands, see how my knees are being pressed in because the band is really tight? You have to fight that much more. That has to engage. You can't let the form go just because you doubled up the band.
It was kind of fun to see our strength grow that much in just a week.
Welcome to leg day, week 2. Are you guys ready to work your legs? Ready. Wow, they sound super excited. I hope you're more excited than they are. Every workout is progress. One step closer to your goal.
I went up in weight this week for the leg day because Autumn told us that it's a 3x10 as opposed to a high rep, lower weight day. So the idea is that you increase weight because we're decreasing our reps.
Come on, I know the legs are getting tired. You see I tilted my weights down slightly? That is just so they don't get in the way of my legs. This is a long workout, and to keep it under an hour, the rest time is really minimal. So it's like an isometric hold on your forearm for almost an hour. Come on, grip strength. We go. You know what? I'm telling you, I can feel it. My grip doesn't have it. My legs do. My weights are slipping, so I'm switching. Work! They will not, like, my forearms are just like, no, not today. It's not my legs. It's my grip strength, and sometimes that's part of it, but I'm gonna fight to make it stronger. More often than not, our weights are at our sides. We're not lifting them up here or anything, but it's a heavy day. So in a sumo squat, I give the option to, put the hands or rest the weights on your hips, down, squeeze. For a Buddha squat, we went here and held. It's all about pressing up through that front leg. At one point, my grip just completely gave out on me, so I had to switch my weight. I went with one heavier weight so I could hold it on either side for my reverse lunges. My grip is just, for whatever reason, failing me today. So this is a 35. Now, a little disappointed in myself that I'm only lifting a 35 because I had 2 25s and my legs can definitely handle that. But I have to think about safety and I don't want my shoulders pulled. So I'm gonna hold 135 here, give my forearms a little bit of a break. Sometimes it just gives out and you gotta make the most of it and change it up so that you can get through it. If something isn't working quite the way it should, that doesn't mean you give up. You adjust. You figure out what does work and you keep going. The point is you don't quit.
Yes, I had some issues with my grip today. My forearms are still on fire.
The tendons around my forearm were a little bit tighter, and it seems to have gotten a little bit weaker. I was using them more.
If your grip starts to get tired, stretch it out a little bit. I do 2 different ones. I just press my palms together, so I'm like pressing my fingertips down and away. And then the other one I do is where I just pull the fingertips this way. Just sort of elongates the muscles in the tendon again.
At the end of our workout today, Autumn did some stretches, which was really helpful. All in all, I think as the weeks progress, as the program progresses, I think that it'll get stronger and I'll just be better.
The worst one today is that
We do them in
this
cardio.
one.
No, that one burns.
Oh, yeah. That was weird.
The one where we step a diagonal forward. We do the one where we open
Ducks
up
are my
backs. We do.
We were all talking about different exercises that are difficult for us, and everybody kept chiming in duck walks, and between that and bear crawls, I was like dead.
Eyes up, chest up. spiders. Here we go. 2 more.
So far, I'm really happy with my progress. I was surprised at how much more ready physically I felt for the workouts and heavier weight after having done week 1.
Nothing worth having comes easy.
I definitely feel like my meal prep is improving between week 1 and week 2. In the first week, I was like, oh, this dry chicken, I don't want to eat it. Like, I was unhappy with my food, but now I'm like excited, like I want more. I'm like, I wish I had my breakfast again so I could eat it again.
I'm not gonna let you fail. I'm right here with you. We're in it together.
Week 2 was definitely more challenging than week 1, but I feel like in a good way. Like, I felt so much stronger in week 2.
Down. My fanny pack belt is doing crazy things. It's okay though. It's holding the mic in place, that's all that matters. My sports bra isn't, well, it doesn't have a back for me to put the pack in like I normally did, so we went with my waist pack. And, okay, breathe. I gotta adjust. Hold on 2 seconds. Breathe. Let me readjust here. And, you know, came flying out on mules to frogs. Mule. Woo! You guys keep going. 2. But that's what happens, and I just caught it and tucked it back in and kept on going. That's as close as it's gonna come to falling off without having to completely pause and reset.
It was so good. It was so interesting. It just gave you a whole, like, oh, what's gonna happen? Like
What are you gonna do?
Seriously, like, what's happening?
Got it.
It was so good. I'm so glad he didn't stop and do a thing.
I mean, I didn't expect him to come out and be like, that was amazing, but I'm glad he wasn't mad that it happened.
If you were in a class, that's what would happen. Things would be flying around.
But I think what we'll do is we'll pin it closed. Like, we'll just stick a bobby or a safety pin in there, because then it can't come flying out. So lessons learned on set. Today is stretch and release. Obviously, we're lifting heavy weights, we're putting our bodies through a lot. It's really important that we also take care of it with stretching and lengthening and keeping all of our muscles loose in addition to working them really hard.
I've noticed changes in myself, both physically and mentally. One of the big changes that I've noticed, which is surprising, is that I actually require less sleep. So I'm up every day at 5 a.m. and I'm like, get the day started, let's go. I don't feel hungry. I'm actually having a hard time eating all of the food that I have to eat. So that's interesting, because at first I was like, oh my God, just like feed me. And then as far as physical changes, I mean, I know that I haven't like dropped 10 dress sizes or anything like that yet, but I can start to see kind of things going. As far as my self-confidence is concerned, like, this program has definitely helped me in a major way. I start like walking with my head a little bit higher, my back a little bit straighter, my shoulder, you know, just kind of like getting my swag back.
Amazing job. You're done with week 2. Oh, what a train wreck I am and the background cast in week 2, but that's part of the fun of still getting adjusted to everything. The whole point is you don't quit, you work through, even when those loops roll up, even when your arms give out. So I want you guys to remember that and keep pushing through yourselves, even through all the hard stuff.